Chapa from Jaca Paraguay. This is episode 2 of Guarani Lesson. Today we're going to get you talking as soon as possible. And who else would you like to talk about more than yourself? Today we're going to talk about where you're going, where you've been, who you are, that kind of thing. So, who you are in Guarani. I'm me, you want to say. In Guarani, and don't forget to repeat after me, that's She. She Paulita, I would say. She means me, I, or my. Remember in the last episode we learned the word AVI, which means as well? Well, now you know how to say me too, which would be She AVI. Now because we want to get you speaking as soon as possible, we're going to get to that other thing you need for a sentence, the verb. And our first verb is going to be japo. Japo means to do or to make. These concepts, which are separate in English, are combined into one word in Guarani, like hacer in Spanish. You'll remember that Guarani verbs are like trains. The verb by itself is like a lonely little car that needs a driver. So, who's driving this train? When it's me driving the train, when I'm the driver, when I'm doing or making something, we're going to put an ah in the front, which takes the soft ah sound, like in Spanish. There are separate beginnings for each pronoun, such as he, we, them, which we'll discuss in the next episode. Right now, let's talk more about you. So when someone says, who's making dinner? You can say, She a japo, I'm making it. For almost all verbs, the root, such as japo, will stay the same, and you'll just change the front sound when the person who's doing the verb changes. But what fun would life be without irregular verbs? So what are some fun irregular verbs we can start with? How about I go? To say I go, you're going to start with that same she, the me, and add the verb, aha. It sounds like it's not irregular because you still have the ah sound, but when you get into the other people, you'll see that it is. So, she, aha. What else? If you're going somewhere, then you must be coming to another place. So to say I'm coming is she aju. Again, the verb is aju, and it doesn't seem irregular because it's got that ah sound in the beginning. Here's one more irregular verb that you're going to use a lot, especially in Paraguay. This is one of the few that does not have an ah in the front when it refers to the first person. It means I eat. She ha'u. So this verb is interesting for two reasons. Number one, it doesn't have that ah sound for the first person. Number two, what was that weird little space in the middle? It was like a hiccup. Ha'u. Well, this is the fun part of Guarani. That they have, in the middle of some words, in between two vowels, they will put an accent right there in the middle of the word. You've never seen that before. That's craziness. So it's just a pause. She ha'u. And it's really fun. You'll hear it also. It's in ba'eshapa. So for first person, another irregular verb is to say. I say is she ha'e. One of the phrases used here to mean I agree is she ha'e avei. So what's that word avei? That means also. So literally this means I say also, or I agree. She ha'e avei. Now you have the conductor car, the first person a, the verb car, japo for instance. What about those cabooses, those suffixes, if you want to be boring, that latch onto the back of the words to change their meaning? Let's say to go, which is aha, and I go is she aha. Well, what about I'm going, with that ing that indicates the action is going on right now? In Guarani, that ending is hina. The next two endings also have to do with time. If hina is that something's going on right now, then what about things that occur in the future or will occur? For this, you're going to add a ta at the end of the word, like in jajo topata. So how would you say, I will go? She ahata. How about I will come? She ajuda. And what about I will eat? She hauta. What about I will eat too? She hauta avei. The next ending is kind of like a past tense, but it really means more like already. Well, the translation for that in Guarani is the verb ending of ma. A lot of times people combine the ma and the ta together, kind of like if you wanted to say, I'm going to go now, or I'm going to go already. There's kind of a future and a present tense there. I'm going to go already would be translated as ahatama. Now I'm going to give you one more ending because it will help you get some sentences out. When I was just learning Guarani and I was going to work at the co-op all the time, every morning at least I got one Guarani sentence out and I would say, ahata cooperativa pe. So I'm going to my cooperative. And that pe on the end is an ending that means I'm going to or I'm going to be at. So, she ahata cooperativa pe would be I'm going to the cooperative. So how would you say in the future I'm going to Disneyland? She ahata Disneyland pe. Ooh, okay. So that's just 10 words, believe it or not. Now let's get a little practice in. Okay, hi, sorry to interrupt. It's me from the future. Just a few days, nothing much has changed. I already recorded the review, but there's a few things that came up during the recording that I need to tell you about before we go on. First, I gave my buddy one example that I thought would have been hautama, which would be I'm going to eat already, but really, as you'll hear, I wanted to say I'm eating already. So he corrected me as haumahina. And I was like, what is haumahina? I have never before combined the ma and the hina. But if you think about it, it makes sense. So it's like, I'm eating already currently. I already am currently eating, that kind of thing. Yeah, but just know there are all kinds of crazy ways to combine the endings. So I just don't want you guys to freak out if you get it wrong on the first try of the reviews. Because with everything, there's just like a few different ways you could say it. So it's not like a hard and fast rule. Secondly, there's this thing about coming and going as well as bringing and taking that really gets me in Guarani. If you're on the way to someone's house and they call and say, when are you coming? In English, you would respond, I'm coming already. Well, in Guarani, like in Spanish, you're going to use, I'm going already. She ahama or she ahamahina. And if they had asked you to bring over some Coca-Cola, you don't say, I'm bringing the Coke. You say, I'm taking the Coke, which sounds really weird to us in English, but if you say, I'm bringing Coke to the party, they'll be like, oh no, you spoke wrong. So it's just the way we do it, and the way they do it is different. So how I remember that is that they say it literally from the speaker's perspective, like, I'm taking Coke right now, or I'm going right now. So yeah, okay, and number 3, in the review, there's an example with the word avei, which has a V in it. Well, my Paraguayan friend said in the example, instead of she avei, he said she. And I was like, what? What is avei? And he said, that's the way we say it. We speak badly. So, there you go. I've heard the V dropped on a lot of other words too, so I might try to pronounce it a little softer from here on out. But, okay, sorry for the interruption. Continue. I'm here with my buddy Oscar, and first I'm going to just say the words or describe the word in English, and you answer back in the pause, and then after that, Oscar here will say the word in Guarani. Okay, so first, how would you say me, my, or I?
Sure.
How would you say the verb to make?
Yapo.
What is the word for I go?
Aha.
What is the word for I come?
Ayu.
Jew.
Ahí es una I.
Oh, eso es un jota.
Ayu.
What is the word for I eat?
Hau.
What is the word for I say?
Hae.
What is the word you're going to use when you are currently doing something?
Hina.
What is the word ending that kind of means already?
Ma.
What is the word ending that means in the future?
Ta.
What is the word ending that means in or at a place?
Pe.
Okay, now we're going to go on to some sentences. If someone asks you where you'll be spending Christmas and you have plans to go to Brazil, what would you say?
Se a Brasil, pe.
Your friend calls and asks if you'd like to eat cake, but you currently have cake in your mouth and want to say, I'm eating already.
Se a imagina.
We want to know who will make dessert for our sweet party, and you want to offer. But how would you say, I will make it?
Se a japota.
You attempt to make a joke in Guarani. After an awkward silence, you want to go. You stand up and say, what?
Se a hatama.
Your friend calls while you're walking to his house. He wants to know when you're coming. How would you say, I'm coming already?
Ahama.
Or,
Ahatamahina.
or,
Ahamahina.
your friends are going to eat some ice cream and you love ice cream as much as the next guy. How do you say, I'm going to go too?
Se a hatai.
That's it. To see how these words are spelled, check out the podcast information. That goes for the first episode as well and all following episodes. And again, my email is guaranime@gmail.com. You guys can shoot me any questions, suggestions, rants, raves, that kind of thing. She ahatama. Jajo tobata.